Hi there, it's Sarah from Ruffles and Rain Boots, and today we're making the Sanderson Sisters boop, boop, boop from Hocus Pocus. If you'd like to make them, stick around. As always, please give this video a like so I know you're here with me, and we're going to have a little prep work. We're going to do clay and hair. So first things first, we're going to make one little bead nose, 6 hands, so repeat that for smaller hands, and then make 2 kind of wonky noses, one really big for Winifred and a middle-sized one. So 3 noses, 6 hands. Get those baking and then get out watercolor and any color or any kind of faux fur that you have. We're just going to paint a reddish brownish color, which will lighten up, and a blonde and a black. So after you brush them out, you'll notice they get a little bit lighter, but what we're gonna do is mold the hair pieces. So we're gonna have all 3 of these sisters here. The rest of the supplies are gonna be in that link down below. There's a lot of stuff I didn't use in this picture, but first,
Here with a friendly gnome reminder to subscribe. How? Just click that red subscribe button below and then the bell for turning on all notifications. Now let's get back to Sarah and the crafts.
okay, so we are going to repeat the same process for all the sisters, so I'm only going to show you one. We're taking these very, very long thigh-high socks, and we're just going to make sock gnomes. We're going to cut them off at about an ankle length because we do need a pretty strong base. We're going to fill it with weight, and we're going to add polyfill to the top before we tie it down. Now, as for the height, you can do a small one at 6 inches, you can do a taller one. It just needs to be kind of heavy. We are going to tie that off and secure it with a little hot glue. Now, we have a whole rest of the piece of sock here. So what we're going to do is about 6 inches from that top ribbed portion, we're going to cut it off to however tall you would like it. Mine are more than 2 feet, and then we're going to cut it at an angle so it comes to a point, and that way we can just hot glue hem it all the way down. Okay, so this is really easy. You just turn it inside out, take that one side, and just gently add a bead of glue. You are going to wait until this dries. Don't try and turn it before it does dry, because you will poke your finger right through it. But once it is dry, you're just going to use a chopstick or an eraser end of a pencil to get that tip out. And then we're going to stuff it full of polyfill at the top, rolling it in between our hands to really distribute it. Then we're going to take a pretty long piece of floral wire, at least 12 to 18 inches. We're going to curl down the top and the bottom in just a second, and we're going to press that up, fill the rest of it with polyfill, again rolling it in our hands, and you can start bending and shaping these any way you'd like. So when we put it on the sock gnome body, we make sure to put that wire, again you've turned down the bottom, all the way into that body. We don't want it coming out. And we're gonna just look at the nose here so we can get sizing, but do not glue it on yet. Now for Winifred, who's the most notable sister, what we're gonna do is we're gonna use a rectangle piece of fabric, and we're gonna cut a trapezoid out of the middle with 2 rounded edges, okay? So you can see here, we've got our little trapezoid piece cut out. We'll do one side here and just yank it off, do another side here, and then it leaves you with this sunglasses shape. And what we're going to do is just stuff the circle portion with polyfill and give it a hem all the way around, so you're creating a pom-pom of sorts. Now I will advise you, don't be afraid of a needle and thread. If I had to do this over again, I would choose a needle and thread plus a running stitch just to make this go a whole lot faster, because you do have to wait for the hot glue to dry. So just tip number 1. See, that's the pom-pom. It stays all on its own. Do that for the other side again, and pull out some braids or some bangs for her face. So now what we're going to do is make a really simple apron. Again, you can doll these up with the lace. You can put black aprons on them, collars, frilly bits, whatever. I'm just doing pleats. And so all I'm doing is I'm pleating the front, you can see here, and then I'm going to lay over the back edge and then glue that down as well. You can see it's just a cute little pleat. I'm going to repeat it on the other side, except I'm going to put it in towards the center instead of going the same way as the other side. Just pull it in towards the center. It's really easy. And then you lay it down. See? Boop. Just lay it down. And again, you could do this in like 3 seconds with a needle and thread as well, but you guys asked me for hot glue. Here you go. So you're just going to make sure to put it all the way around, give it a glue down, and then don't glue the front down. But if you don't have an even piece like me, just cut that off the bottom. I cut a small little rectangle and tucked it in the front of her dress so that I could make the apron pieces, and 2 tiny little rectangles for her straps. That's it. That's all I did. And I just glued it down. Everything gets glued down. Yay. Our little gnomes are coming together. The last piece for her dress is just to tie on a sash, or put on a sash. I mean, don't tie it on. Okay, now we're going to glue down her nose. Now I made a honking nose, so put a generous bit of hot glue there. And then also use the ribbing of the sock and glue it down onto the actual clay nose. Easy, she's cute, right? Okay, so we're not going to need to do the front of the hat anymore, so go ahead and tack those down about 1 inch away from the nose. And now, hot glue on Winifred's hair. See how solid it is? It becomes really, really solid when you get it all together. So just add a generous portion of glue, stick it down, and you can position her little bangs. If you do want arms, cut 2 pieces of that excess sock fabric. You're going to hot glue hem the inside so nothing frays, and then you're just going to fold it over on itself. Boop! And you can put wire in these if you want them to be bendable. And you're going to repeat that for the second side. And then you're just going to squish down one end, add a little hot glue, and then stick in one of the clay beads. You can use wooden beads or pom-poms, whatever you have, and then snip off anything that's ugly, like I did there. Repeat for the second arm, and then for your sizing, just make sure you can hide the arm up under the brim of the hat. Add a little hot glue, and you're done with that. I mean, you got to do the other side. So then you're done with that. And now all of the sisters' bodies are going to be made the same way. Hello, Winifred. So we're going to start on the second sister, and I just want to tell you, I'm only going to show you the parts that are different. So Miss Sister Mary has a rectangle of black fur. I am going to fold it into a trapezoid shape, okay? So I'm going to fold down the bottom a little further away than I'm folding down the top. And I'm going to do that on both sides. So the back doesn't matter. It's going to be pressed straight up against our sock gnome, but we do want the sides to be generously portioned with fur. So then I'm going to squish the top together. I just cut a very thin piece of faux fur and tied that around the top so that it looks like hair. But you could put a cute little tie and a bow or a rubber band or something. I secured it with hot glue. And then I hot glued the whole mamma jamba to the front of Sister. And then here you are. Bam! There's Sister Mary. Okay, we're going to repeat it again for the final Sanderson sister. So everything else is the same. And here's my sister Sarah, my namesake. We're going to take a thin piece of faux fur, about the length of it doubled over her body, over her nose. And then very similar to how we make a handlebar mustache for a gnome, we're going to point the edges and we're going to fold the faux fur backing in on itself so that everything looks like hair. And you're going to do that for both sides. So get those down. And then you're also going to squish together that middle piece. And then look, you just put it on Miss Sarah. Hello, Sarah. And you're done. You can dress them up. You can change them. You can, twist their little hats. These things are like 2 feet tall. What do you think? Let me know in the comments section. Boop, if you're going to give them a make. Hey, thank you so much for being here. As always, please like and subscribe to Ruffles and Rain Boots.